Today's program is sponsored by the Anthony Vincent Salon. Say hello to beautiful.
You're listening to Trend Radio, where we talk about what's hot and what's not. Get into the loop with us. I'm Anthony Vincent.
And I'm Elise. And we're your radio gateway to what's trending with beauty, fashion, health, wellness, and sex.
Mostly sex.
Learn and laugh with us anytime, any place. Go right to our website, anthonyvincentsalon.com. Click away and listen today.
You'll be glad you did.
Yes, you will be.
What a great day it is today.
It is an awesome day.
Yes.
It's beautiful out, too.
Today, in 1884, the first roller coaster opens.
Oh, I love it.
The first roller coaster in America opens at Coney Island, Brooklyn, New York, known as Switchback Railway.
Wow. I love roller coasters.
Brainchild of LaMarcus Thompson. It cost a nickel to ride, and it was a whopping speed of 6 miles per hour.
Oh, wow. Wow. You know, speaking of Coney Island and roller coasters, when I was growing up, my mother used to take me and my sisters and a whole bunch of our friends, and we would go to Coney Island all the time, have a hot dog, and then ride the Cyclone, which at the time was known as the biggest roller coaster in America. And let me just tell you, it wasn't always the smartest thing to have the hot dog first. Okay? No, I have to just say that. But it was awesome. The Cyclone was huge and very fast and scary. Have you ever ridden it?
I have not.
Oh, you were deprived. That's terrible. You were really deprived.
Yes, I was a deprived child.
Well, you know, fortunately for you, the Cyclone is still in operation today, and it's a standing landmark and reminder of the amusement history in Coney Island.
Oh,
so
yeah.
You know where we're going, right?
Oh, yeah. For the hot dog.
Absolutely, but I'm going to get you on that ride. I'm going to get you on that roller coaster. And I promise you this, we'll have the hot dog after. Okay, because you don't want to ride that on a full belly.
Well, if you remember the opening day of Coney Island just a couple of months ago, back in April, the roller coaster, the Cyclone, got stuck at the top.
Yeah, yeah. We won't ride it when it gets stuck. We'll ride it when it continues to flow beautifully.
When it gets oiled up.
Yeah.
And all the rusty wheels are have broken
turning nicely, and everything is running smoothly.
But that was very exciting to see that roller coaster, stop at the top of the crest there.
I don't think it was so exciting for the people stuck at the top, though.
No, well, I guess it depends how you look at it.
I can see it be exciting for the people who aren't on the coaster.
Just watching it.
Yeah, but not so much for the ones that are stuck up there, because that can be pretty scary. Do you ever get stuck at the top of a ride?
No, I don't go on the rides.
Why?
They don't amuse me.
They don't amuse you?
No.
They don't amuse you?
No, I do not find them fun, exciting.
Oh, you're disappointing me right now.
Well, sorry about that.
You know what, though? Will you ride the Cyclone with me?
Of course I will.
All right. Because that would be amusing for me.
Can we videotape it?
Absolutely. Oh, that would be a must.
Okay.
And don't you worry about a thing, everybody out there. I will post that on YouTube.
Well, I could scream like a little girl.
You can do whatever you want.
Okay.
It's going up.
Okay. Well, from roller coasters to porn.
Oh, of course. Why shouldn't it be any other way, mister?
Do you know what a porn buddy is?
A porn buddy?
A porn buddy.
Okay, I don't know for sure, but this is my guess. A porn buddy would be like, are you talking like the buddy system? So it would be probably somebody who would be interested in porn like his buddy, and the two of you would go, I'm in the vernacular, you of course, would go and watch porn together? Is that what we're talking about?
Oh.
I guess I'm wrong.
Oh.
Okay, no, that's not a porn buddy?
A porn buddy are two people that have a pact that each one...
Oh, I know what a porn buddy is. Can I say it?
Sure.
Okay, so these two vernacular guys,
Porn buddies.
these two porn buddies have their own
Stash.
porn collection
Yes.
that they keep stashed somewhere.
Yes.
And if something happens to the one buddy, the other buddy goes and gets his porn collection.
Before the mother or father goes and finds
Or
it
the
first.
wife.
Or the wife.
Or the girlfriend, or the boyfriend, or whoever. Is that what the porn buddy is?
That's what a porn buddy is. You
Okay.
protect each other.
Ah. Do you have one?
Well, you
Don't
know,
answer that.
the best thing about having a porn buddy, that if your buddy goes first, you've just doubled your porn collection.
Yeah, I can see where that would be really exciting. Especially if you're, into porn.
Well, I have come across.
Wait. Let me back you up for just a second here. Excuse me. I apologize for interrupting
Never
the way I do.
apologize. Thank
Oh, yeah. Thanks for your patience, dude. Here's what I want to say, though. If you do live with your wife, girlfriend, mother, etc., how are you going to get into your buddy's house? What are you going to say? Hey, I need to get up into so-and-so's room because...
If you're-
Wait. I left my corn cob pipe there.
If you're living with your mother, you should not have a porn collection.
I'm sure. But if you're living with your wife or girlfriend, how are you going to get into your buddy's house?
I don't
I'm
know.
just curious. How would you work this out?
I don't have any porn. I don't have a porn buddy.
Oh, all right. All right. So, but that's what a porn buddy is.
That's what a porn buddy
the
is.
rescuer of the porn.
The rescuer of the porn. If anything happens to you, your buddy rushes over there before anyone else, grabs your porn stash.
Okay. So then you really
So
have
no
to
one
give
else
your buddy a
finds it.
key.
You do.
Okay. All right. That's the only way I can think it'll work.
Okay.
All right.
So can I get back to my story
Yes,
now?
you absolutely can.
Alrighty.
Thank you for your patience one more time.
The hardest working man in porn.
Who is that? Wait, let me guess. No, you know what? I better not.
All right. I'm gonna be serious because this is really interesting information.
Yes, it's definitely, we need to know who the hardest working man in porn is.
I wonder if that's a play on words, the hardest working man in porn.
I'm sure, no pun intended.
Well, 35 years old.
Really?
Yes, he's 35 years old. His name is Shimkin. And
Shimkin.
Shimkin, the king of Japanese porn.
Wow. Wow. Thank you for sharing this.
My
I'm going to
pleasure.
look him up as soon as I possibly can.
There is essentially nothing that he wouldn't do or hasn't done while getting busy with more than 7,500 different female co-stars.
Really?
7,500.
Really?
Including a teen pop singer, Hungarian exchange students, and a pair of 72-year-old twins.
Ew. I'm sorry. That's gross.
I think, didn't we talk about that's novelty sex or novelty porn? Did we talk about that last week?
I don't even think I want to. I can't even imagine what a 35-year-old porn star would do with 72-year-old twins. That just grossed me out.
Well, 72, you can still be hot
I'm
in
not
your 70s.
saying that you can't be hot. Please don't misunderstand. I know a lot of 70-plus-year-old women who are extremely hot and beautiful. That's not what I was saying. I just can't believe, that these two women would actually be with this 35-year-old porn star. I guess they must be porn stars too
They must be.
at 72
Well,
in twins.
I
Okay.
mean, that's every guy's, fantasy.
Okay.
You
I'm
have to
not
be
even
with
going.
twins.
72-year-old twins. Okay.
Maybe not 72.
I'm saying that. Why? Is there a problem with
He
that?
got paid extra for that, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
Well, in his 18 years of film stardom, he's been in more than 7,000 films.
He must have an amazing body. He must, because the workout that he
does.
must
I have
get.
a picture of him
Let
right
me
here.
see him.
Here he is.
Oh, let me see. You know what, though? He's not good looking.
He kind of looks like a cross between Jet Li and.
He's just not good looking. His body is fabulous, though, I will say that. But I don't like his face.
He's got a nice set of hair.
Yeah, his hair's all right, but I don't like his haircut. He didn't see you. That's a problem. He needs to get rid of those little wings right there.
Well,
Yeah.
and he's kind of highlighted on the ends there.
I do not like his look, but
Okay.
you know what? His body is fabulous.
Well, you like Jewish men and Italian men.
Oh, stop.
Yeah. Same thing.
What? What's the same thing?
Jewish men and Italian men, pretty much the same.
You think?
Yeah. They're well built. They're attractive.
It depends on the guy.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, getting back to Shimkin.
Shimkin.
Okay.
Shimkin.
So, Shimkin's kink has earned him widespread national recognition, almost like a younger Ron Jeremy,
Wow.
or even a more seasoned James Dean.
Well, James Dean is fabulous, but not the porn star. He, fabulous actor, and everybody loved James Dean, especially his look. Ron Jeremy, on the other hand,
Yeah, he's pretty gross.
He's pretty gross.
He's gross.
I never understood him as a porn star.
Well, I don't think anybody ever looked at his face. But
His body was disgusting. Please don't misunderstand what I'm saying here, but for a porn, for having as much recognition as he does in the porn industry, I just don't even understand that. And yet he's out there and they love him and they want him. I don't get it.
neither do I.
Okay.
But everyone else in the adult video industry reveres his name and his anatomy.
I don't get it. But okay.
16 centimeters.
Please stop.
Just saying.
All righty.
So anyway, a few months ago, Shimkin went public with his feelings about being one of the few male talents in the Japanese adult video.
Really?
Yeah.
And what were his feelings?
Well, in Japanese adult video, in the entire industry, there's only about 70 male porn stars.
70
Male.
to all those women?
10,000 women.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Then in Japan, they produce 4,000 new films every month. And, the number of male actors just isn't enough.
Maybe that's the reason why there are so many female on female videos.
Yeah, perhaps.
That's
Just not
probably the
enough
reason,
guys in
because
the
there's not
industry.
enough guys. Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting.
Yeah. And these high-profile guys and actors, like Shimkin, they work in rotation.
Wow. Maybe you ought to get into this.
Well, it is a physically demanding job, but and
Somebody's got to do it.
and what happens if you run out of juice? That's not any good.
Oh.
You're
I guess
to
that's
run
where
away.
the extra testosterone would come in.
Yeah, I guess so. Anyway, one of the these adult video directors, he worries about this already overtaxed group of performers, these 70 men, that they'll not only tire out, but they'll age out.
I imagine that they would.
Because just like you said with those 72-year-old twins, when you're over 40 and these young 10,000 women are in their 20s, these 20-year-old girls think it's kind of gross to be with a 40-year-old guy.
Some young girls don't like older men. Some do, though. And
Those are the ones with the daddy issues.
Well, it depends, but some men like older women also, and some don't. So it's all a matter of taste, especially when it comes to pornography. It's very specific. You have very specific tastes. Some like black and white, some like men only, some like women only, some like a mixture, some like an orgy. Some like, 5 guys and 1 woman. That's how it goes.
How do you know so much about porn?
I'm just, doing my research.
Elise.
Don't you dare.
You dirty girl. You dirty, dirty girl. I can't believe my ears.
I can't even. You are so awful. You are so
You're
awful.
the one that knows all about the porn. I thought I was giving a whole bunch of information over here. I don't know jack.
You know, I just want to say
I
something.
guess I don't know nothing.
I just want to say something in my defense. I have a lot of information. There's research. We do research. What's the matter? You're taking off your jacket, getting a little hot in here?
It's warm in here, let me tell you. So,
Okay.
would you like to tell us more?
No, I got nothing.
Well,
I got nothing.
poor Shimkin.
Poor Shimkin. Yeah.
He hasn't taken a vacation in 7 years.
Because all he does is have sex. I know some men that would like that.
Okay. Well, Shimkin's count on the working male porn actors might seem a little bit low at 70, but some people think it's even less than that because they drop out because they just don't have the stamina. And as for their female counterparts, a controversial Japanese article that recently wrote that statistically 1 in 200 Japanese women had appeared in an adult video film.
Really?
1 in 200. Yeah, the Japanese were not happy about that.
Why?
Well, the industry turns out about 6,000 new actresses a year. So I guess according to the number of people living in Japan, that's 1 in 200. And Japanese are extremely conservative.
Well, there is quite a market on Japanese porn, though.
Yeah. Demand is high. And this is really interesting. The Japan produces more than double the number of porn films as the U.S.
Yes, it does. And I'll tell you another thing. When we were speaking of Ron Jeremy before, he actually does do a lot of Japanese porn also.
Does he really?
Yeah. He's done a lot of Japanese porn.
How do you know that?
Research. Just research.
Okay. Well, double the number of Japanese porn films, even though America has twice the Japanese population.
You know what? Maybe he was trying to help Shimkin out.
Maybe. So, in the U.S., though, most aspiring men porn actors drop out once they face the real realities of porn.
What are the real realities?
Oh, come on. It's very, very physically demanding.
How do you know?
Well, I would imagine it has to be. I mean,
you're imagining now?
Well,
now all of a sudden you're imagining. Before you weren't wondering about me.
He's doing 7,000 films a year. The guy hasn't taken a vacation in 7 years. He's got to be pooped. The poor guy's probably blowing dust.
Ah. Yeah, I imagine he's blowing dust. But you know what? I don't think he actually is. Because if he were blowing dust, he wouldn't be doing what he's doing.
True. Well, the thing that I don't understand is, not only the physical, stress and strain on you, but, you got to do it with a camera between your legs.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So, but they say that, Shimkin's stamina is legendary. And what happens is his workload has him shooting 8 or 9 hours a day, 7 days a week.
So he probably makes sure he eats very well. Mm-hmm. He probably exercises daily, drinks plenty of water, and does everything to keep himself as physically fit as possible.
That's right. To maintain his strength, because he's making like 6 movies a day. They must not have very much of a plot line. But
I would imagine no porn movie actually really does.
Yeah. Shimkin exercises 90 minutes every day, 4 days a week.
Okay.
And he focuses on heavy lifting and deep squats.
Oh,
now,
keep the arms and the legs strong.
Yeah. And those deep squats actually will build testosterone. I'm a bodybuilder and in the gym every day.
And it shows.
And the squats are one of the main and few exercises that will actually build your testosterone
Now,
levels, make them higher.
why do the squats build testosterone?
You know, I don't know why. I guess it's because you're using that area. And
Okay, so that's just what you're saying basically is that I need to look that up.
you know what? But yeah, why don't we do that? And we
Okay,
can maybe talk about that
Okay,
on a...
because that's interesting. I'm curious as to why different because this is something that I've always had a problem with going to the gym. That's why I've asked you for help sometimes because I'm curious to what each exercise would do and why and how it can benefit me. So I'm curious. Like that's a good question. Why do squats help produce testosterone? I'm going to look that up.
Okay, terrific, and we'll talk about it.
Okay, but in the meantime, thank you for your patience. Let's go back to what we were talking about.
Well, he says that the squats help his thrust also, as well as build up his testosterone.
I would imagine they would because they keep his legs strong.
Yeah.
And let's face it, it's all about the thrust.
Okay. And he also lives off a go bag filled with glutamine, branch chain amino acids, zinc. Zinc, he says, makes the semen whiter.
Oh, and I guess you really need to have semen as
White.
white as possible
Well,
for
it
those
shows up on...
for those certain shots.
They're called the money shots, by the way.
I know what they're called. I just doesn't. Well, yeah. How do you know they're the money shots?
I heard you talking about it earlier when the mic was turned off.
Oh, really? Because that's
Yes.
what I do in my spare time. I talk about porn in my spare time.
You should. You know, I'm gonna secretly turn my phone on and record the stuff you say when this mic is off,
Oh my
and
gosh.
then we're gonna have Stu play it.
Oh, thanks. Okay. Stu's not going to do that to me, but you're not going to hear anything about money shots when I'm off air.
Well, he also takes arginine and vitamin jelly.
Vitamin jelly?
Yeah, vitamin jelly.
What is vitamin jelly?
It's like a bee pollen and royal jelly. It's you can get it in the health food store. It's called royal jelly, and it's a sweet elixir with all types of local pollens and
Oh, it keeps his immunities high. This way he won't get sick.
yeah.
Okay.
So
So let me ask you something. Do you think this man needs to take Viagra?
nowhere in his pile of pills is Viagra. He says he hasn't had to use it
Oh.
yet.
Well, he is only 35,
35.
and he has amazing stamina and he takes excellent care of himself. So I guess the little blue pill is not for now. But I'll bet you anything, there are plenty of men in that industry that take Viagra because you have about a 4-hour stint there. And so that would probably be very helpful for them.
That's right, because any erection lasting over 4 hours, call your doctor.
Well, yeah, once they're done with the 4 hours, then they rush the guy to the hospital, but not after this way he's
Or
made
the
about...
director of your local pornographic
Yeah, but they've
society.
probably made a few movies by then, and then they take him to the hospital. Yeah.
Okay. Whatever you say.
Hey, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't really watch it, so I don't know. And I certainly don't know behind the scenes stuff. Like you. But no, the vernacular you.
Well, Shimkin points out that the physical requirements are a barrier for most men. And he also points out that anyone who tries porno will be immediately recognizable. And this could rule out ever having a normal life, especially in Japan.
Well, I imagine, especially in Japan, if you're especially American, if you try it and you're there, they'll definitely recognize you. But I guess because they make so many movies and so many films, and it's just such hype there, I guess.
Right, but think about what you just said. So many films, so many actresses. How many people are actually watching this porn?
I honestly don't know.
Well, it's got to be more than they let on.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're secretly watching porn.
They must be.
And I wonder if they have porn buddies in Japan.
I honestly, we'll have to find out. We'll look it up.
Okay.
We'll look it up.
And, you know, a couple, very few, mostly female adult video stars have actually transitioned into, mainstream TV.
Really?
Yeah. And there are definite roadblocks, for former adult video actors who want to transition into the mainstream.
Why? Now, I imagine there would be roadblocks. I mean, based on what it is that you're doing, you come already with this predetermined what you can kind of do. And let's face it, porn is really not acting. In my opinion, I can't imagine that it's, I guess it is acting, but not very good acting. I don't know.
Okay.
You think it is?
No, I don't really partake.
He's making it like I do. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. All right.
All righty.
Whatever you say, sir.
So there was a documentary in Japan called The Other Side of Sex. And they point out that in Japan, fame can bring great shame.
It depends, I guess, what you're famous for.
Well, in the porn industry, this is what they talked about in this documentary, The Other Side of Sex.
Oh, you watched it?
No, I read about it. And the documentary goes on to point out that once you become an adult video star, it becomes very hard to get a normal job. And it can only become worse if you try to conceal your past. So you have to be kind of just like right up front, because it doesn't matter.
Well, they're going to find it.
Oh, yeah. In Japan, it doesn't matter whether you are retired or not. And you can't get financial credit from a bank. So it's even really difficult to get.
What do you mean you can't get financial credit from a bank? If you're in porn, or
if you're in porn, if you are a porn actor or actress, because remember, Japan is very.
They like us to think they're conservative, but obviously they're not if they're making double the porn that we are. So basically, somebody who is involved in porn doesn't necessarily mean they're a bad person, doesn't mean that they're not a smart person, doesn't mean that they don't have life dreams or whatever, but basically they were a porn star. They cannot have...
They won't give them credit.
They get no credit, so they can't buy a house.
That's correct.
How awful is that?
You're frowned upon. That's why he said earlier that, if you're in the porn industry, your life has changed. So you better save all your money. So anyway.
Very interesting.
This happened to Shimkin. He found himself unable to even rent an apartment. Landlord after landlord judged his occupation as objectionable. Even when he showed them, I got a full bank account over here. He just couldn't.
So where does Shimkin live?
Well, what happened was he was able to get an apartment only when one real estate agent revealed that she was a fan of his. She was a fan. Must have been that 16 centimeters. Okay.
You see that?
So
interesting.
She offered him a place and to live if he came to dinner with her and fans from her office. So the whole office knew who he was.
So isn't this interesting? So basically, they're not as conservative as they'd like us to believe because they're all watching it. They all knew who he was. They were afraid to step up, except for this one. Interesting, isn't that?
I don't know if you remember an old magazine. It's not around anymore. At least I don't think so. Called Playgirl.
Of course I remember.
You do?
Of course. I've seen it. What do you mean?
Well, I was actually in the right place at the right time, and I did a photo shoot with them, and I was going to be the first centerfold.
Oh, really?
Yes, I was.
I love you. Really? Who'd they choose instead?
Well, they got Burt Reynolds. They did, so, I lost out to Burt Reynolds. Not so bad.
Oh, really? No. Bandit. Smokey and the Bandit.
So I guess that movie came out right about that time. But, I was in college at the time. And,
let me just tell you a story about that little layout. My mother had Playgirl. So I saw that whole Burt Reynolds layout, and wow. And I remember he was laying on the sofa, like on a lounge chair kind of thing, and he was just sprawled out, and he had his hands kind of covering all of himself. So why didn't they choose you?
My hands weren't big enough.
I'm Anthony Vincent of Anthony Vincent Salon. Time for another fun and fabulous beauty tip with our tip chick. And here she is.
Got brows? Aching for an arch? Frame it, fill it, and flaunt it. Say hello to beautiful.
Want your beauty question answered on the air? Email us now from anthonyvincentsalon.com. Remember, for the 150,000 hairs on your head, there's only one choice. Call us now at 609-448-2212. You'll be glad you did.
And now for the fun facts on finance
From a feminine point of view, our very own Dina Cobran.
of DC Alexander Wealth Management.
Good morning, Dina.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Dina, what do I need to be concerned about if I'm approaching retirement and or I may be already retired, in the way or different ways I could be investing my money?
That's a great question. Well, there are many ways to invest your retirement assets. And I mean, all assets, but we're talking about retirement specifically here. And the most common way that a typical person is recommended is they would say 60% stocks, 20% bonds, and 20% cash. Now that sounds, well, that's pretty diversified because you have your stocks that will give you the growth portion of your investments, and then the other ones give you some stability to hopefully not drop in case the market goes down, right?
Right.
Absolutely.
So, but what happens just to give you a few different stats about a bear market, which is when the market drops, right? And it's defined when there's lots of, different periods of time when the market traditionally drops 20% or more from its top, all the way down to the bottom. And bear markets can really eat away a person's portfolio. And that's the most scariest time is when you're in retirement or pre-retirement planning. And according to the different stats that are out there, in the last 113 years, okay, from 1900 to 2013, there's been 32 bear markets, okay, and about one every 3.5 years. Did you know that?
No, I
Yeah.
did not.
So it takes an average of about 24 months for the stock market to recover from a bear market. 2 years is a long time if you're in retirement to recover. So what happens is it could take longer depending on how your investments are invested. So if you lost, let's say 35%, you had $100,000 invested in your retirement plan, it would drop down to $65,000. Okay, think about how that would affect you in your retirement years.
Wow.
And if you could earn, let's say you're you're invested very conservatively and you're only earning 4% on your money, it would take you 11 years to recover back to that $100,000.
And as a retired person, you may not even have those years.
Right. And that's why a lot of people are going back to work. Now, people might say, well, 4%, I can do better than that. All right. Well, if you can earn 6% a year, you're going to take 8 years to recover. That's still a really long time to get back to that number. And
especially if you're in your 60s.
Yeah, exactly. And at 8%, it takes you still 6 years to get back to where the point is that you started.
And that's if that percentage is there.
Right, right. And so, of course, when you're looking at the bank at, 1% and 2% returns and CDs that are that low, and you're not risk tolerant, it's a very, very scary time for people to invest because they need a professional to help them. There are very few people can actually go out there and find the different ways to invest properly without a financial professional.
Wow.
And that's why I think they should definitely contact me to help them.
Well,
They
I agree with you.
absolutely should. Dina, with retirement accounts, is there such a thing as a stop loss on these things where if the market does drop that far, can you say, all right, my tolerance is only 2 or 3 or 4% as opposed to letting it drop all the way down to 20?
Yes, Anthony, and you know that. But we do these strategies.
I just love
yes.
hearing it from you.
We do these strategies and we create stop losses. There's a lot of money managers out there that I actually use that create these stop loss programs so you don't have to think about it. It's and it's very nice and comfortable for a lot of people that don't want to lose their principal, or they want to limit the amount of the downside risk and, without the losing the upside potential of their investments. So if you want to know more, definitely contact me, and I'm more than happy to sit down with you and give you a free consultation. So give me a call today at 609-945-7330 and ask how you can receive your free white paper on 5 big threats to a secure retirement.
That's perfect.
Call or email her today. You'll be glad you did. I know that I am.
Securities and investment advisory services offered through Next Financial Group Incorporated, member FINRA/SIPC. DC Alexander Wealth Management is not an affiliate of Next Financial Group Incorporated. 2346 Route 33, Suite 307, Robbinsville, New Jersey 08691. Phone number 609-945-7330.
Need a salon that's about the whole you? Precision haircuts, flawless makeup, impeccable nails, top-rated professional hair products. Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for a hairstylist who has his finger on the pulse of all the latest trends? Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for a dependable salon with over 35 years in the industry? Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for New York City and internationally trained stylists that will create the perfect look for you? Anthony Vincent Salon. Shine brightly while walking down the aisle. Anthony Vincent Salon. For longer, thicker, beautiful hair extensions, Anthony Vincent Salon. Incredible makeup applications for weddings, proms, or any special occasions. Anthony Vincent Salon. Have dry, brittle summer hair? Get a hot shot. Anthony Vincent Salon. Before you put a ring on it, manicure it. Anthony Vincent Salon. Your image is their specialty. For the 150,000 hairs on your head, there's only one choice. Anthony Vincent Salon. For a more beautiful you, call now 609-448-2212 and follow them on Twitter.
Your favorite salon is now your favorite radio show. We make you healthier, wealthier, and sexier every time you listen.
You're a hog. You're a word hog.
All right. You want to do it again?
Wait, no. Tune into us. He's Anthony Vincent. And I'm Elise. Okay, and we're Trend Radio.
Or maybe we used to be after that. I don't know.
He's a word hog.
This show was really a sexy show today.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Why?
No.
Why do you say that?
We're going to be talking about more sex stuff.
I just want everybody to know something. Did you notice before he said, I'm like the one, why do I know so much about porn? Why do I know this? It's on my mind. I don't think so, because he's the one with all the paperwork in front of him right now. He's the one who got all this information. He's got sex on his mind.
And what am I going to talk about?
I'm not saying. You say it.
Well, you and I are going to talk about things we never knew about a vagina.
About whose? Whose vagina?
A vagina in particular. Any vagina. Just
the vernacular vagina?
Yes,
oh my God.
Yes, yeah.
Why? Why am I surprised? If it's not pooping and farting, he wants to talk about vaginas. Okay.
Well, there's certain things I'm an expert in.
Pooping and farting, definitely.
Well, the vagina, a mystery to most men.
Not you, though. Yeah, not you. Not the vernacular you.
No, except for Dr. Lawrence Orbuch.
What's his name?
Dr. Lawrence Orbuch.
Orbuch? How do you get through life with that name?
Well, yeah, I guess he teaches a lot about vaginas. I don't know.
Wow.
He is the director of the GYN Laparoscopic Associates and the co-director of the Gynecological Robotics Society.
There's a Gynecological Robotics Society?
Yes, at Beth Israel Mount Sinai Hospital in New York City.
Well, who would have ever thunk?
Well, he knows the ins and outs, the hows and whys, and the bizarre but really cool stuff about vaginas.
Okay, so this is what we're learning today here on Trend Radio. Yay!
Well, this information is not for the lighthearted. So,
Lighthearted, really? You can't be lighthearted and listen to this information.
well, we try to make it as fun as we can.
Yes.
We try to make vaginas as fun as possible. I mean, after all, who
Oh
out
my
there
God.
doesn't have fun with a vagina?
Oh my God. I can't even answer that. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
I guess we're being serious now.
we are being serious. This is Dr. Lawrence, Dr. Larry talking about this stuff over here. All right. So when a woman is turned on, her clitoris basically gets an erection.
I can't even believe that I'm going to have this conversation.
We're just trying to help people understand sex a little bit better.
Okay, ladies.
In a fun and fabulous way.
Okay, ladies, at least we can hide our erections.
That was good.
Of course.
You see, and I know you may not know much about this, but during female sexual arousal, the clitoris becomes engorged with blood and it becomes erect.
And I'm just curious as to why you think I wouldn't know much about that.
Because you're an angel. You're so good. You wouldn't know anything about this. You're
Okay.
a mom. Moms don't know anything about sex.
Of course not. We just had babies, but we don't know how they got there. I know how they got there. They were placed there from God.
That's right. The size of the clitoris actually varies from person to person.
So size matters?
Well,
I guess if you're a guy, it doesn't matter, right? But us girls, it matters all of a sudden?
The clitoris is really not very large at all. Menstrual blood.
I'm at a loss here. I'm just going to sit here and hang out with you.
This is really cool information. Now, menstrual blood could help patients suffering from heart failure.
Why?
I'm going to tell you.
I'm sure you will.
The stem cells are extracted from the blood, and then they're grown to generate different types of cells in the body. And the stem cells are made into muscle cells for the heart.
Really?
Yeah. Now,
That's very interesting.
so even though it's experimental and foreign, it's not being done here in the U.S., but it is overseas.
Interesting. That's very interesting.
Yeah. This stuff is all real adult stuff. And if you're not mature enough to talk about it, we can go to something else. We can talk about lycopene, and we can talk about tomatoes and broccoli if you like, or we can go back to poo and farts if you want. But if you can bring yourself to act like an adult, and
my God.
Stu giggling in the background over there.
I'm just going to say this. One of these days, to the moon, Alice, to the moon. Go on.
Okay. Well, just like men, when a woman is turned on, her vagina doubles in size.
Okay.
Now, vaginas vary substantially in size and shape during sexual arousal. And this is nature's way of accommodating most Italian and black men.
Oh my God. I think this is nature's way, honestly, of being able to accommodate giving birth. What do you think about that?
I like my reason better.
I'm sure you do.
Does everybody have a hymen?
Does everybody have a hymen, really?
And I'm not talking about Maury Hyman from Brooklyn.
I'm talking about, I know exactly what
The
you're talking
DJ.
about. I know who you're talking about. Yeah, I would believe not everybody has one, but women do.
Well,
They have them up until they lose them.
you may not, the vernacular you may not have been born with a hymen at all.
Oh, really?
Yep. Now, the majority of women are. But if you don't have one, you probably wouldn't even know it
Probably not.
because it has no impact on your sex life at all.
No. except for when it's the first time. And then believe me when I tell you, there's an impact.
Okay.
Not that you would know that.
No, I wouldn't know that.
But we would know that, right, ladies?
Now, you may have trouble reaching orgasm if you have a smaller clitoris.
The vernacular you're talking about, correct?
Yep. Generally speaking, if you have a smaller clitoris, you may have a little more trouble in reaching orgasm. This is according to a study by the Journal of Sexual Medicine.
I was absolutely just going to ask you which study this was according to.
Of course. I wouldn't be talking about this if it wasn't real and if it wasn't scientific and if it wasn't health.
I just wanted to make sure we said that study.
Yeah. Now, of the women who reported having trouble reaching orgasm, all of them had clitorises that were farther away from the vaginal opening.
Oh, okay. Well, that would make sense.
Yeah. So I guess
that would mean
anatomy.
That during sexual intercourse, you may not be hitting the G-spot.
Perhaps.
No, that's the truth. That's definitely. And that's the reason why there are a lot of women, if you read, some of the famous magazines, and they talk about the big O, that is the reason why a lot of women don't reach orgasm, because during sexual intercourse, the man is not actually hitting the right spot. Mm-hmm. And that's why there are other things that need to be done with foreplay and just other ways of helping her along.
Okay.
There you go.
Do you have a list? We'll email it to people.
If they would like to know, they can certainly reach us at trendradio920@gmail.com, and we'll be happy to send out that list.
You ask at least for that list. I don't know nothing about it. Mm-hmm. But I do know that there are 8,000 nerve endings in the clitoris.
Really? That's a lot of nerve endings.
That's right. God put them there in purpose. In fact,
is that why so many women like to horseback ride?
No, that's why they yell out his name. Oh, God, God, oh, God.
We're not in an episode of Harry Met Sally, of When Harry Met Sally.
Well, it's those 8,000 nerve endings that God has a sense of humor, and he wanted women to scream out his name when they're having sex.
I get it. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, the penis only has 4,000.
Oh, poor you. Poor guys, I meant, not you.
Well, all joking aside, those 8,000 nerve endings may be why that, direct clitoral stimulation can be painful for some women. And actually, a clitoral orgasm is much, much more intense than a male orgasm.
Very interesting.
Very
interesting. Good stuff you got going on here.
Okay.
Informative.
Well, did you know?
I'm sure I didn't, but go on.
That it is possible for your vagina to fall out.
To fall out of where?
Fall out. Your vagina can fall out.
I never heard that term, and I did not know that. So please explain.
It's called uterovaginal prolapse.
What does that mean?
Well, it means the vagina can protrude outside of the body. And
why?
Well, this can happen after childbirth or menopause. But it's very, very rare, and it is repairable with surgery.
Oh, good.
The vagina just turns inside out. It drops.
I can't even believe something like that. I've never heard of that. Do you know, with all the women that I see on a daily basis and all the women that are in my life, I have never heard that term. Thank you, Anthony Vincent.
It is my pleasure.
Thank you for sharing.
You know what we'll do? For your own purposes, why don't you Google uterovaginal prolapse? And
I will absolutely find out whatever information I can.
And the picture you see, it will look like a woman with testicles.
Want to even? Oh my. Okay.
So
Thank
just
you.
kind of helping you along there.
Thank you. Stu, can you just imagine what I have to deal with? Wow.
Now, Your vagina cannot get looser just because you're having a lot of sex.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for sharing.
Anyway, this is according to Dr. Justin J. Lehmuller. He's a PhD and author of the blog Sex and Psychology.
Well, that's really good to know if you're a porn star, too.
Yeah, you can make room for all that.
No, at least
action.
it's not going to get looser.
No. The vagina naturally becomes looser when women are sexually aroused, and that's to prepare them for intercourse.
Yes. Great. Perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
Are you done?
I got one last thing to say.
Of course you do. What is it?
Your vagina has the same pH level as a glass of wine. So,
That's at least good to know. It gets finer with age.
very tasty.
I'm Anthony Vincent of Anthony Vincent Salon. Time for another fun and fabulous beauty tip with our tip chick. And here she is.
Got lips? Want that perfect pout? Find the hue that's right for you. Easy as 1, 2, 3. Shape, stain, and shimmer. Same shade. Say hello to beautiful.
Email us now from AnthonyVincentSalon.com. Remember, for the 150,000 hairs on your head, there's only one choice. Call us now at 609-448-2212. You'll be glad you did.
Okay, we're going to do it again, but we're going to do it nice this time.
What are we going to do?
Okay. If you're just joining us now, your favorite salon is now your favorite radio show.
We make you healthier, wealthier, and sexier every time you listen.
Tune in to us. I'm Anthony Vincent.
And I'm Elise.
We are Trend Radio.
Yes, we are. Yes, we did it nice.
Yes, we did.
Okay.
And you see, but there's just one thing.
What's that?
We never, ever do it nice
Oh, we do.
and easy.
We absolutely do.
We always do it nice
And rough.
and rough.
Okay.
All righty. So, anybody out there trying to lose a couple of pounds, weigh just a little bit less?
I'm sure there are so many people out there wanting to weigh a little bit less.
Yeah. So, sleep just a little bit more.
I always say if you don't sleep, you're not going to get those Z's and you're not going to lose your weight.
That's right. There's a link between sleep and weight loss that received a big boost in 2011 when this long-term, large-scale study confirmed that both too little sleep and too much sleep can lead to weight gain.
That is correct. You really do need to sleep the right amount, which is about 8 hours.
That's about, yep.
You need to have those good 8 hours of sleep.
Researchers over at Harvard University examined how various lifestyle habits affected weight over an extended period of time. And adults who slept fewer than 6 hours per night or more than 8 hours per night gained more weight than those whose nightly sleep fell within the recommended 6 to 8 hours.
Oh, okay. So a good 7 hours would be good.
7 is good. And you know what? That's pretty much what I get. And then you probably get less than that. But
I actually fall into the under 6 hours. Although these days I've been sleeping a little bit more. I do have to say that. But I will say this. When I was on that big weight loss stint a number of years ago, probably, around that time frame, I was getting seriously between 7 and 8 hours every single night. I was making myself sleep because I really needed to lose a lot of weight at that time. And I knew
it was baby weight. You had just had a
baby. Yeah, it was baby weight from 20 years ago. But anyway, aside from that, seriously, I really was sleeping a lot more, and it was easier for me to lose that weight. So that is absolutely the truth.
Well, sleep researchers evaluated the effects of diet, exercise, and alcohol consumption, smoking, television watching habits, and along with the weight gain or loss. And the most significant weight gain occurred for people whose diet included potato chips and other potato products, as well as sugary beverages like soda. Those things were associated with the most weight gain.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm absolutely sure. I mean, those, first of all, potato chips really, really high in fat, really high mostly in hydrogenated oils. Not good for you. And we all know the effects of soda.
That's right.
Soda,
We talk about
very,
it enough on the
very
show.
bad.
Yeah.
Drink water.
And we were talking about this morning, you and I, that diets rich in fruit, vegetables, whole grains, and nuts help keep people
Satisfied.
satisfied and keep their weight under control.
Absolutely.
And of course, physical activity also help people to keep from gaining weight.
Oh, see, that's the truth, though. But everybody knows that. They don't always do it, but everybody knows that.
That's right.
You know, I am so happy. I just have to say this one thing. We made it through a show with no pooping, farting, or any kind of bathroom talk. Yay us! Woo!
All right, then I promise you, our next show, we will be talking about the strange things going on at the bathroom in Japan.
Oh,
that'll be for next
gosh.
week. But until then, you've been listening to Trend Radio, where we talk about what's hot and what's not every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Learn and laugh with us anytime, any place. Go right to our website, AnthonyVincentSalon.com. Click away and listen today.
And if you have a topic of interest that you want us to talk about, or you'd like to be a guest on our show, email us now at trendradio920@gmail.com. You'll be glad you did.
Remember, your smile is your logo. Your personality is your business card.
And how you make people feel becomes your trademark.
I'm Anthony Vincent.
And I'm Elise.
We'll talk to you next week.
Bye for now.